Hey y'all, this is Brian Johnson. You are tuning in to Jigga Set Radio.
What you see now on the internet? Nah, I was listening to Jigga Set. Oh, I be listening to every show, keeping me all in the know on Jigga Set Radio. What you see now on the internet? Nah, I was listening to Jigga Set. Oh, I be listening to every show, keeping me all in the know on Jigga Set Radio.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Jigga Set Radio. We're here with yet another guest. I never walked through the buttons with you. Didn't walk through the buttons. I'm so sorry.
What buttons?
Well, you're going to find out today. You're going to learn some today.
Okay.
So we have our guest on here. His name is Brian Johns. Y'all make some noise for him.
Okay. I get the buttons.
Welcome to the show, my friend.
You sound like white folks.
You should... What?
That's a white folks applause.
You're already cutting up, I see.
I'm not trying to.
So welcome to the show.
Thank
As
you.
I tell all of our guests, we're just having a conversation. You know, it's we can laugh together, we can cry together, but the point of this podcast is for you to be authentically you, and this also is therapeutic.
Okay.
How's that drink you mixed together?
It is very interesting.
What makes it interesting?
Its flavor profile.
And do you want to walk the crowd through what it is that you concoct?
It is some type of alcohol and juicy juice. I'm unfamiliar with the flavor of the juicy juice. But in recognition of tradition, I used it. And I probably should have used Sprite.
Paying homage to his childhood. So speaking of childhood, let's tell the world who you are. Who is Brian Johns?
Okay.
That's your camera.
Okay. If we can, do I have to talk over this music the whole time?
I can bring the music down.
Yes, bring it down. I can't even hear myself think. I'm just trying to, Hey, y'all. Can they really? Okay, let me stop breaking the fourth wall.
What is the fourth one? You can.
I can?
You can talk. You can talk to him, but you can also talk to your
Talk to the
audience.
camera. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, we're really chill here.
Okay, cool.
You're not on stage.
And the fourth wall is like when you look directly in the camera.
Oh,
Because you're supposed to be in an imaginary world when you do film and shit.
oh, I guess I do that all the time.
They would not hire you. Okay. Who is Brian Johns? Brian Johns. What does Brian Johns do, or who is Brian Johns?
Who is Brian?
Your interpretation.
Okay. Who is Brian Johns? I believe that Brian Johns is somebody that is loving and compassionate and very curious and cares about the world around him, can be a little neurotic sometimes, and also is fun. That's what I think.
Okay.
And it's funny, but don't try to be funny sometimes. I don't fucking know. And it's talented.
Is often misunderstood.
I ain't say all that.
I'm adding additional commentary.
I feel like sometimes I can be misunderstood. Yeah, I feel that.
So why do you think that is? During those moments where you feel like you are sometimes misunderstood, why is that?
Sometimes I don't know. I think sometimes my actions can be perceived as a certain way, and my intention is different than what my actions do. I don't know. It kind of can be a little confusing.
It's okay. It's okay.
I ain't ready yet.
No, it's okay. Again, this being on a podcast is oftentimes therapeutic. So there's things about oneself that you find out about while in the midst of talking. So don't feel bad for not having an answer per se about certain things I may ask you because you may not have actually thought about it.
True.
So some of the elements you forgot to mention in your introduction is like the things that you do.
Oh yeah.
So let's talk about that.
Okay. And the reason why I did not mention those things because I've learned to divest what I do from who I am. because when I'm not doing those things, when I did have them clumped together, I felt badly about myself. Like I felt worthless. So my worth is not tied to what I do. So what I do, I own my own business and my own company.
Okay.
I am a trained singer. I am a writer. I have a book published on Amazon.com.
What was it?
I have a book. It's titled The Fragile Fortitude of a Black Man.
Okay.
Why did I not know this? I didn't know this. Wait.
Oh, I didn't know you didn't know
I
this.
did not know that. Wait, I just learned something. Okay.
That was published in 2016, 17. And it chronicles my journey to healing, the way I processed the death of my father, and the way I processed my journey to self-worthiness after being sexually abused as a kid. Also, in addition to that book, I write television pilots, plays, and stuff like that. I'm a director now. I've been asked to direct a short film, which is pretty cool. Also, I'm an actor. No, now.
You think
Shit.
I
I run a puppy pound. No, I'm just playing. Baby, that's about it.
Well, let's start. Let's dissect all of those. No, well, if you think of it later on, don't be shy. Go ahead and express it. Again, this is about you. The world, whatever the world wants to know about you, it's in your hands. So let's talk about your entrepreneurship. No, actually, no. We're going to start before that. Let's talk about your childhood, right? So you say you processed the death of your father. How long ago did you lose your father?
I lost my father in 2009, my freshman year of college.
And how much did your father mean to you? How much did he affect the version of yourself that we are looking at today?
Ooh, that's a great question. He really instilled in me my fortitude, and he made me grow up in a way that was self-sufficient in a lot of ways, to where I didn't have to rely on the people around me all the time. Like there were consequences, to my actions.
Yeah.
Like I remember one time, it's this drink. I remember one time, my black ass had a dog. You know, sometimes I would bring in random dogs in the house and they would let me keep them, but I would give them bitches away. So I had a dog this time, and my black ass decided to ride my bike to Target, which is like 3 miles away, to get him some dog food instead of going to work at this place called Pump It Up. It's like an indoor bounce house place.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'm gonna be back in time or whatever. It took me a long time, and my dad was supposed to drive me to work. So by the time I got home, my dad was like, where the hell were you at? And I was like, I was up there getting the dog food I came in with some cans and stuff like that. He said, put them cans down. You gonna ride that bike to your job. Baby, I was like, damn. I rode my bike to my job, but on the way I stopped for Chinese food. And by the time I got...
This sounds very familiar, Brian.
By the time I got to my job, it was like about 9 o'clock. I had about 15 minutes left on my little shift.
What?
And I said, I'm here, y'all. I had to ride my bike. I said, if I'm a hustler, if I'm a struggle, I'm gonna have a good time on the way, baby. I sure did. It took me a while. And I learned a lot. My dad was like, I'm not driving you home. You going to work, you gonna do what you have to do. You shouldn't have made that decision. I lost that job too. I said, why ain't they putting me on the schedule? I said, not y'all letting me go and not even telling me.
Right. Yeah, no.
Baby, it was a mess.
So learning lessons, little lessons like that from your father.
Yeah, he also gave me independence. And that's another thing to like figure things out. Cause like when it was one time where I wanted to go to the movies or something like that. And my mom was like, oh, okay, I'll drive you. I was like, okay. My dad was like, no, he's going to learn how to catch the bus. So he rode with me down the bus line and taught me how to get where I needed to go. And that opened up a web of connecting different things. Like, oh, I can take the bus here. I can do this. It gave me independence. It gave me a self-reliance that I've used in my life now. And he didn't really institute those principles like with my other siblings as much. I don't know why. Maybe because he had gotten sick, so he wasn't able to. But I am really appreciative of what he instilled in me.
So how important do you feel, especially in today's generation, having those moments where self-sufficiency, independence are instilled in children? How important do you think that is to have those core values instilled in you? Because a lot of people today the children today, Generation Alpha, they started over. They don't have those core skills, and they grew into Uber and Lyft, being their norm. And we grew into an era where taking the bus, getting transfers all over the city, like that was our norm. That's how we got around. So how important do you feel like those moments are for growing up?
I think those moments are paramount, and I have an idea about that. It still takes money to get an Uber, just like it took money to get a bus. Like we were struggling with that $3.50 to get on the bus. It was like, damn, it used to be $2.75. But
right.
So it still takes money to get those things. I think there are easier devices and ways to get those things faster these days, like OnlyFans. There are a lot of young kids these days that are making money in different ways that we didn't have access to make money for unless we got our ass on that counter. Baby, you can sell pussy from your house. But we had to get your ass up with some clothes on to sell pussy back in the day. So I'm just trying to say. So I think technology has really fostered something that is dangerous for our young kids. Things are a little too
accessible.
Yes, that's the word that I was looking for. It's too accessible. And something that is too accessible is often abused because you don't have to earn it. You don't have to work for anything. At least a prostitute had to choose what she was going to wear. I mean, and find a ride to the spot. Damn. Baby, talking about sex workers, like, okay. Everybody's remote these days.
Yes,
okay.
so
Even the sex
accessible.
workers.
Thank you.
Customer service. I hate it.
Cole with the fuck up this shit for
your father played a pivotal role in your life, and being able to adapt to even to today's times, you pay homage, or you feel that your father was able to get you to that level. So, what other moments in your childhood that you would say were paramount for you? Like, did you have a happy childhood? Did you have a very rocky childhood? Like, what would you say? If you were to gauge how your childhood was, what would you say?
I think, trauma has a weird way of fooling with you.
Oh, I know.
Because I feel like I look back on my childhood and it seemed pretty regular, but looking at it objectively, I can really only think of all of the traumatic things. Like I being abused at a young age, but during that abuse happening, like I enjoyed hanging with my family. Being in the hospital at a young age, spending nights, copious amounts of nights in the hospital on the weekends and stuff like that, at a young age for my family, my mother and my father. I see that, but then I also think of the times to where we have fun. I don't know, like it's just this weird mixture of things. So I think it's all about how it resonates with you, how you choose to perceive it. Because I could be like, oh, my childhood was horrible. Or I could be like, it was wonderful. But I really can't say either or.
Yeah.
I think it was all right.
It was all right.
It was okay. I mean, I have been through a lot of bullshit when I can list it out.
Yeah.
But this ain't the oppression Olympics or the trauma Olympics. Like,
yeah,
everybody got some shit going on.
So
I don't know.
Well, we're about to tie it together. So you mentioned being an actor, right? And so, is there elements from your childhood that allow you to bring that into when you're acting? Like, is there any moments in time where you can draw energy from your past and bring it into like whatever you're on stage acting or performing? Can you recall any of those moments?
Yeah, if I'm doing something and say the part calls for a situation akin to a father-son relationship, I can use, the way me and my father felt about each other to give that scene some inertia. I could use that. But like, say it's an emotional scene and I'm crying about a lost love, I'm not going to be thinking about my dead father and using that as... Some people use that, but I think it's inappropriate to use that because it doesn't serve the truth of the scene. Like so it just varies. It has to be specific to it at least in the ballpark. So I don't really use my personal trauma to infuse a scene with anything.
Okay.
A lot of people do though. I don't think
It's
the
not
art
your
is for
style.
that.
That's not your style, right?
Yeah, that's not my style. I feel like imagination is best, and personalization, using things from your past, comes in handy when you can be specific or when you are in a crunch. I need to cry. Let me think about my data right quick. Like they just changed the script. Let me see what I can do. I can't always go there though. So imagination works best.
I'm gonna ask a question.
Yes.
Actor to actor.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel with what you just said? They change the script all the time, right? Because you can have your dailies. You get to say, and because you done studied these lines for months, and then you get to say, oh, we got to rewrite. Your daily has changed for the scene that you're filming that day. And so you said that you, if I need to change it abruptly to go there, you can go there. So what happens when you can't go there when you're on set and you need to just like quick on the fly, like what happens then?
Look, I don't know. I ain't gonna give you no deep answer, baby. You go to the deeper. Nah, I don't know. You try. You do the best you can goddamn do. Like, but that's why you study. That's why you have different tools, because if I ain't got enough time to really use my imagination, I'm going to have to pull from something that's real. I believe in just like hyper realism. Like, really, if I'm in a scene, like this is really happening in real life. It's not like a fictitious event. And pulling from real life to infuse something into this fictitious event, I think that does a disservice to the art that was created. Because when people are watching art, our mind is saying, oh, this is real. And it really affects us on a real level. So why not bring that to what you're doing? So that's the way I approach it. But like I say, if it's changed at the drop of a hat, you got to think about something that's real sad. Pull your dead grandma out that coffin and baby prop her on up.
Oh my God.
Mummify her.
And see what she looking like, baby, because you might need to sing, don't you?
So that's good to know as far as your perspective. Now, we're still here with Brian Johns, guys. So, excuse me, Jesus, I maybe so. With individuals that are listening or watching this podcast, what techniques, can you just give us like a couple of techniques, some basic techniques as an actor that you would say that an actor starting off need to have?
Okay. First of all, you need to be able to read. I'm dead ass. Wow. You need to be able to read. Like, if you cannot read, you really can't act. Now somebody can tell you just words, but
I got to interject though.
Okay.
I got to interject on that. You don't necessarily need to know how to read. You just have to be able to deliver what's on the page. So if you have it, because people who are not necessarily, because like for me, I have dyslexia, right? So I learning as a kid, as a child actor, that was difficult for me. So all of my lines were, my mom read them.
okay.
And I put them on, and I learned my lines that way. So I necessarily, because reading was hard for me, I didn't know how to read, but I still showed up and delivered when I needed to.
See, and I said that like somebody could read it to you, but I mean that's hard, especially when you don't work on a soap opera and somebody got it. And Christian said like all them damn pages. That takes a different muscle. But I think I like to your point. I think reading is very instrumental in
for sure. I
this
agree with
business. Somebody got to know how to read, baby.
For sure.
Whether it's contracts
Right,
or
what-
scripts.
Hello? Whether it's your mama sitting down and you putting your earphones on and taking it in, or baby, whether it's you. The second thing is you need to know how to comprehend. I think you need to know how to use your imagination. And when I say reading too, I'm not just talking about scripts. I'm talking about somebody that can intake books, because books are great tools to grow your imagination. I don't know if y'all are voracious readers out there up in here, but when you really read a good book, your mind does this like hypnosis thing and you zone out and you're in that world. It's a weird thing, man, but that's what happens when you are in that vein of acting. You zone out and this is your world. It's hypnotic. it's I don't even know the word for it.
I mean, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, like that's what really happens. So the same thing when you're really in that thing acting, that's the same thing when you're really in a good book. You can't really explain it, but it happens. What else do you need to know? What other tools? I do suggest that you get with the acting coach because you can only take yourself so far. Like when I first got into the industry, I was self-taught for like a good 5 years. And I was like, oh, okay, I got it. I tried to take my ass out there to LA, and baby, that didn't work. And I'm glad it didn't. I was only in LA for like 15 hours when I was really like, I'm going to do this thing.
Was that the most recent one?
Yes. Okay. I went out there and had an Airbnb, couple of them things fell through, and I was like, God, now when I prayed to come out here, I told you I didn't want to be homeless. But he had me walking the streets like a night walker, baby, with my luggage in tow. I said, this don't make no sense. And it was a game going on, so the hotels were like $300 a night. I said, Jesus, I'm going back home. So I went back home. I said, you know what? If this is not for me, I'm going to do it because I love it. And I'm going to learn. So I got into acting class. And baby, was I not prepared? I was not prepared. I thought I was. But acting class really elevated me. And so y'all need to get in class with a good teacher that's going to push you. And also, last thing, memorization is important. Memorization is very important to this game because if you don't know what you're saying, can't nobody use you.
No, real shit.
Oh, and lastly, being professional. And that's it.
So the professionalism, do you feel that goes hand in hand with the branding of yourself in this industry? And
yeah, because even if you don't have an Instagram page, your hello, your goodbye, that's your business card. That's your Instagram page, honestly.
So would you say you have to, professionalism not only extends to just being professional to your scene partner, right? It extends beyond that. It goes so when you're down to craft services, you have to be professional because you never know that craft service person that is over the tender that is a writer over there.
Hello.
And she may be the network producer tomorrow. You never know.
Hello.
Because she done put her time in. She putting the time in right now, but you don't know what she's working on.
That's true.
So you have to. The professionalism does not just extend to your scene partner or to the director and the producer, but it's beyond that. Would you say?
I agree with that. And to echo that sentiment, like that's happened to me personally. Like the first national commercial that I did. One of the guys that was like a PA, I was just kind to him. And people can sniff out when you're on that bullshit. Like, actors be doing too much sometimes. Like, oh my God. Like, just be polite to them folks and talk to them like regular people. But I was just cool with them. And why I walked into a room one day for an audition for another really great part, and he was sitting at the director's table. I was like, oh, I remember you. He was like, no, he remembered me first. He was like, weren't you that guy on that spot? I was like, oh, yeah, that was you. And I ended up booking it. But it's about your relationships, how you treat people, because it does extend. It extends to the person who lets you on a lot. It extends to the person who opens your car door. Like, when you get on set, leave that shit at home and just be polite. Even when you big shit, because we all are working and trying to, but we work commission-based jobs basically as actors.
For sure.
Baby, you don't know when you might work next.
For real. And it's really that serious.
It is.
It's really that serious.
You better be nice to them folks.
All the way. All of it.
So let's talk about that for a second. How difficult the game can be, and how it's like, working from gig. It's realistically like a gig, right? You gig to gig. I don't want to say check to check, but it kind of is.
Check to check.
Okay.
Literally.
Correct me.
And baby, them checks be net 30, net 90.
That's my check. Say it again for the people in the back.
Baby, them checks be net 30, net 90. Hello. Like, jeez, I ain't got nothing in the mail.
So let's
It ain't no direct deposit, bitch. You gotta mail that shit. Don't let your bank have to authorize it. It's gonna be another couple days. God. Mama,
let's talk about those woes. Cause I'm ignorant in that realm. I don't know how that works when you do a gig. So walk me through the process. So if you book someone, I guess you have to audition for it, or you get booked for something, and then like you do the gig, and like what's the turnaround time for people that don't know? Like, clearly you just stated it's not immediately like, oh, here's cash, let me cash app you. Like, because I know there's budgets and stuff and there's other people has to go through. So walk us through one of those scenarios if you don't mind.
Now, when you're working maybe on a personal level and you're doing a personal passion project, maybe they might pay you right off the bat. That ain't always the case. And sometimes that'd be like $10 to $50. I've driven to Oklahoma, worked, and had $10 folded up in my palm like an honorarium. I'm saying, like, what is this? $10? You could have put 15. I gotta get something to eat. But there are other productions that you work on, like the industrials or like the things that are not union, which is Screen Actors Guild stuff, whatever. If you work on something like that and you had to fill out a W-4, whatever the fuck you got to fill out, they're going to pay you after the job is done in at least 30 days.
And you get out the parking lot good. You pay.
Right. If you work on something and you have to show up and they send you a call she's real and you got to fill out paperwork, they're going to pay you at least 30 days after. No, at most 90 days. And there have been times to where I've done projects and it's been past that 90 days low key. And I was like, oh, my manager
that's
like,
hockey.
where's my money? Where's Tamika's money?
Oh, Lord.
No, where is my money for real? And every single time when I would ask my agent that, then my money would mysteriously come through. And I'd be like, nah, hold the hell up.
Yeah, so what do you do in those moments?
You just pray.
That's the question.
You find something else to do. You don't make acting your life until acting becomes your life, okay? You don't do it because acting will this profession will let you down. I don't think it's something you really cannot run from.
I would agree with that, 1,000%.
Oh yeah,
1,000%.
It's not, it will not pick you up without letting you down. Shit, so.
Even when it picks you up, it's for a brief second.
Oh yeah,
and then it'll knock your ass back down.
Hello, because everybody has their moment in the sun. Mm-hmm. But baby, the moon is coming.
Never. Did you just make that up?
It is.
It's gonna be night sometime.
It's gonna be night. Night is on the way.
So, what was like one of your proudest roles that you were able to land?
The proudest role, I don't think it's come yet, honestly.
Really?
I've done some things that it was cool, but I don't think I'm on this. Like, I haven't.
What was it?
I haven't got that.
Can we get that little, I'm on what?
That's pride. I'm on that. I'm on this show. Like, check it out. 9/8 Central. Like, no, I haven't gotten that yet. I think I will be proud. I don't know. I think I'm more proud of like my tenacity and sticking in this thing. Because I've been doing this professionally since like 2017, I believe. And that didn't come without a hard struggle too. Like I submitted to my first agency at least 3 times. And then the last time I had to write that heifer a note and be like, look, I booked this national thing with the good Lord. And let's make some money. And that's when you had to mail your headshots in and mail your resume in. I went straight up to that FedEx and I mailed that shit. I wrote the letter at the FedEx. And I got a call back. They're like, yeah, we love to see you. And she was like, who's your manager? I was like, hey, Jesus. And she was like, who? I was like, Jesus. Because me and him are the only people. And she gonna laugh. I was like, girl, are we getting signed or not? So she signed me, so I'm thankful for that. But baby, like, it's a hard road. Like, currently I have 2 agents. And one in Oklahoma, one out here.
Is that uncommon?
No, that's not uncommon.
No, because you have to be represented across different spectrums of the business.
Well, I mainly ask that for the people that don't know, like myself, and those out there listening.
Yeah, it's not uncommon. Is it easy? No. If I wouldn't have come back and gotten into class, getting into class paved the way for me to get another agent. And I feel like I've done more have more film opportunities as far as auditions go because of this new management. Because the one out here, Dallas really deals heavily in commercial work.
Right.
Oklahoma, there's a lot of things happening in Oklahoma right now, and they are doing more television film stuff. I want to book a Lifetime movie. That's one of like a little stuff because I want to have that experience and see what that shit is about. But I mean, I really want to just have a series on Netflix. I want to like make money off of what I do, like good sustainable income. And shoot, I'm tired of selling drugs.
So,
that was a joke.
Yeah, well, yeah, I figured that.
We know that, but the people don't know that.
He was joking, guys. I think.
I don't do it no more.
It's fine. But you asked my other question, where I was going to ask, like, what would be like something like you aspire to, like as far as a future role? Like, what would you want? You say you want something that's on Lifetime or a Netflix series. Is there anyone that's in the industry that you look up to? And if you don't have one, that's fine. There's a few actors and actresses I've asked that actually said that they don't have anyone.
I did look up to a certain individual who came from Texas, but he just had like a scandal, and I'm just like, man, I think I want to pull away from that. But I liked his trajectory. I liked the way he did more like indie things, and then it slowly crept up to this like monumental star situation. But even in that, you have to make sure that your booty is clean, because baby, somebody gonna find some shit if it ain't clean. You feel me? So
You come up with the weirdest analogies.
I'm gagging right now.
I'm telling you, and he got up there and it wasn't clean. He should use a little baby wipe or something. Got it together. But baby, people start coming out the woodwork. I said, nah, baby, I don't want nobody coming out the woodworks for me. And every single time I say, God, I'm ready. God, I'm ready. God shows me a facet of myself that is not ready for this industry. Whether it's a soul thing, whether it's an emotional component, whether it is how I steward my body, you got to get that shit in check before I bring you into this realm, because this realm will destroy you if you ain't solid.
Mentally sound.
Yeah.
You got to have that
Mentally and physically.
Yes. Yes.
Foundation has to be solid for sure. Because if it's not, it will fucking destroy you.
Yes.
As a lot of people, if you look at a lot of the people that, let's say child actors, if you would, if you look at a lot of the ones that grew up or would be our age and our generation, if you look at a lot of them, you be like, damn, they didn't have that mental stability that they needed, or they didn't have the backbones from the parental units that they needed to be sustained in this industry to grow through this industry.
True. I think that when you really meant to do the good work, God is not going to bring you into a place prematurely, especially some place that is that high vibrational and so many things. And there's certain things that God has to purify in the fire. And I'm still going through that. I'm still being made. And I don't fucking know. I'm tired though.
So what do you do to reset? In general, and whether it's your acting gigs or writing or whatever, like what does Brian do on his spare time to reset?
To reset, I do self-care. Like I go get my feet done at the nail shop and let Lily paint them if she feel like it. That's really her name. I'm not being ridiculous. She painted them purple and glitter this time. I said, now Lily, hold up. She did stars one time. I said, girl, it is Christmas, so go do what you want to do. But I do that. I go to the spa. So I listen to music. I get back to the things that can be black and white, because there's so much gray in this industry and so much that is out of my control. So I get to the things that, I know that if I write this song, I know I can at least record it. It may not hit the billboards, but I know I can get that done. I know I can create a project. I know I can paint something. I know there's this and there's a that. There's a 1 and there's a 2. Maybe in acting, there's a 1 and then there's a 10. And be like, now how the fuck did we get to 25 from 3? It don't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
The math.
But somebody be like, we did this and we did. I'm like, oh. And they still won't give you the job. And it's just annoying. It's just fucking annoying. And so I cannot wrap my life around somebody else's choices. And that's really what acting is about. Like, when you do make it, say I do make it. Let's make it plain. When I do make it, some of my life may not be purely by my own navigation. There are so many other people that have to be paid because of me at that moment in time. You know, it's harder on upwards of the ladder. You know, and then the taxes are broken down different ways too.
More money, more problems.
I'm telling you, shoot.
More money, more problems.
And you don't know how hard I fight every day not to be a scammer. I'm telling you the truth. Like, scam. Baby, I be trying to scam.
God got you though. God ain't gonna keep you in line.
That's the only reason why I don't do it. Because I know the moment if I laundered $10.15, them police coming for me, and they want all of it.
And more.
Plus more.
Plus more. I'm like, damn. Well, baby, I know some people that got money.
It's the interest.
They want interest, and my ass gonna be behind bars. But I know people that's been doing it for years, and they got money.
Yeah.
I'm like, Lord,
But that's
I'm
not
working
the
so
path
hard.
for you.
It's not.
If we're gonna make that clear, it's not the path for you.
My Lord.
But you say that mainly because you see that there, even though it's not the honest way, there's growth and there's progress, and you're looking for that element. And I think that's why you had, pushed your mind into that point for 2 seconds. And I think we all, even including myself, look at some easy ways to just be present, making money and just not wanting to struggle and, just what it feels like to just be stable, And so I get that. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
Do you all feel like, and this is a question for both of you all, do you both feel like money brings stability?
I think it's a culmination of the fiscal structure as well as the mental element. And I feel like even if I were to say, like, if I were to go down that path, I think fiscally, the money would be there, but mentally I would be real fucked up because my conscience would feel like horrible knowing that I'm making money off of somebody. And so like it would be unbalanced in that element. I would love to make money doing what I do best and then being happy about what I'm doing when I go to sleep and wake up the next morning, knowing that I'm happy about what I'm doing.
Right.
Would you say the same? Would you say something different?
I think the management of money can bring stability. It's a lot of people that got a lot of money the right way or like through a lottery and that is unstable as hell and broke. So I think it's all about how you steward what you have.
Right.
I don't know. But money does make life a little easier. I ain't gonna hold you.
Is it though?
It does. Shit. If my leg is broke, if I got enough money, I can get it splendid or fixed. If I ain't got no money, baby, I'm walking around like Slewfoot Duck and just trying to figure shit out. In pain. In the ER, not paying my medical bills.
Right.
I have done that. Maybe it's so much money I owe. But they gonna see me shit. Something hurt, baby. Open up the door. To the ER. Okay. Money makes things easier. When I got money in my pocket, baby, I got a little skip in my step.
Right. I think
Everybody
we all do.
friend.
I think it's mainly the same day when it hit.
Come on.
You're like, all right, cool, for just 2 seconds before I got to pay any bills. Let me just enjoy this.
My God. I just get so sad.
I think I developed an anxiety. I don't like when my account gets to a certain balance.
I don't either.
It makes me nervous.
It's a different thing for a black man too, because we already got so many weights and everybody's always like, the black man makes less than the black one. We don't want to hear that shit. We're trying to make it. God damn it. We know. Leave us alone. Shit. And it doesn't make us feel good. Like, that's why we always try to translate these, like, we got money. Like, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard out here. And that's why I be thinking about scamming, because sometimes I really want
Hey, we're back.
And we're back.
Baby, get me a good African. Pay my little bills, do a little wire transfers, and be sitting smooth and clean.
And they be trying so hard, baby. They be trying to hit me up on Facebook so hard.
I know one. I sure did.
Hit me up. No, okay.
I can connect you, but I ain't gonna do it.
No. I'm good. I'm good. I want to do this right. So
It's the right way. Is the long and hard way.
One of the things you forgot to mention is you're a big anime fan, and that's what you like to indulge in on your off time.
Big is subjective.
Okay.
I enjoy certain anime, but I get really turned off by the Europeanization of Japanese anime. Like I really wanted to get into Naruto because I was like, oh, this is a long series. I ain't got shit to watch. But why is Naruto blue eyes and blonde hair in Japan? I'm like, what the hell is why? And it just turned me off.
So are you saying that blondes are not in Japan?
Naruto ain't got no business. He ain't got no fucking business.
Maybe he dyed his hair like mine.
The lies. And then I looked it up and it was like, he's meant to be like a transplant. I'm just like, every single time they always like try to like endear themselves to like white culture. I'm just like, Jesus Christ. I don't know.
Well, okay, let's talk about the Asian culture for a second. So when I went over to Bangkok, I was blown away by seeing like bleachers that you can go in the store and like brighten your skin. And then I learned about the class system there. And so do you feel like a lot of that, the way they wrote that show, played off of the culture that's there? Like brighter is better. They're more recognized and respectable. Do you think that they put that element in there for this, or?
Oh, I would go as far as to say I know they did that. They want crossover appeal, and we're not seen as the majority, so they pander to the majority. You feel me? So in you know, white culture, it pervades every single society. I don't care sometimes how remote it can be. Like them widening their eyes for what? Like just to appeal to white privilege. Like it's ridiculous. And why do Asians need brightening cream? They the color of this table. Like I just don't understand it.
What color is the table? The people can't see.
Beige, fluorescent beige. Shout out to Precious.
What was it?
Fluorescent beige. Remember the girl? My favorite color is fluorescent beige.
I've never even heard of that color before.
Watch Precious, you'll see.
Oh, it was a line in there. Okay.
Yes, I'm like, girl, what is that?
So, let's talk about your amazing voice. Your voice is very melodic.
Thank you.
So,
it's mellifluous.
So when did you start singing?
I started singing at the tender age of 33. No, I'm just playing. I started singing at the tender age of like 13. It was like my first solo in church. But I did not start singing when I was like 3, 2. My parents didn't even know I could damn sing.
Did you know you could sing?
No. I didn't sing a drop in high school. Didn't nobody know I could do anything. I would just act stupid a little bit. But I was usually quiet and reserved in high school too, because I was kind of like the nerd, I guess. I don't know. But I started to flourish in that way when I got into college. And I was like, you know what, I have a voice, so let me just train it. And it led me to there. And I met a fantastic vocal coach, and that led me into the acting field. So it all just kind of tumbled out.
Okay.
But yeah, I just train my voice. I really need to go back and get a little bit more training and freshen up this instrument because it's kind of got a lot of dust on it. And my voice changes. It does. And as you get older, your voice changes too. So you kind of got to figure out how to work your instrument again. But baby, I'll be doing the best I could do.
And you do a great job. Every person.
You really do have a beautiful.
Like it's
you.
effortless the way when you be singing, and it's always like soothing. Hearing you just bust a note, and even when you like very unsure of like how you want to portray the song that's playing, your interpretation of the song, you still like put forth an effort where it feels like it was effortless for you.
Wow, thank you so much. I really appreciate that because I think as far as voice goes, I put in isn't it 10,000 hours to like really master something. I put in those hours. And sometimes I'm very proud of what I do. Other times, my anxiety or worries get the best of me, and I'm like, oh, that shit sucked. So I'm trying to get out of that because I will produce something very like elaborate, and then once it's done, I'm like, oh, this shit sucks, and then I'll just take it all down, and I'm like nefarious for that bullshit.
It's having confidence.
Yo, after it's done. is important for me. But I think a lot of artists suffer with that. Even Chloe Bailey has talked about that too. So it's just like the curse of a performer, you know, because art is so subjective.
I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit.
I'm telling you, I'm an artist and I'm
Erica
insecure about
Shout
my
out to
shit.
Eric about it.
Come on, Apple. Let's keep it real.
Yeah, no, we're totally keeping it. We're still here with Brian Johns.
are?
Yeah, we still are. So,
Don't mock me.
so the writing element of
Okay.
what have you produced? Wrote, and this is this like writing as far as for like parts for people to act, or is this just music, or like what? Explain that writing process for those that don't know.
Okay, so as far as writing is concerned, musically, I've produced like a couple records that are like on Spotify, it's not Instagram, iTunes. As far as writing for like film, television, I've yet to produce like a fleshed out show. However, I have like produced like a music video that I wrote, started and directed, all of that good stuff. So that's as far as it goes, but I do intend to really write a show that I can film and hire actors and stuff like that. I'm excited about that.
So what would that look like? Like, what is it, like an anime, or is like an actual like series?
Yeah, it's a series with like real people. Like I'm thinking of a limited series. I'm not going to tell my idea.
No,
because
it's okay.
y'all like to steal, but yeah, like that's what I really want to do. But I think that's going to come down later in life. I'm really trying to just do it for myself so I can understand the inner workings of everything in a real way.
For sure.
And then put people in that place to where I don't misuse them. You know? That makes sense?
Yes, it makes sense. You look like you're looking at your cup.
I am.
You finished that concoction.
I did. It wasn't that bad when you start like drinking on it.
That's because it
A little
started.
juicy juice and a little
Yeah,
sweet.
when you know you get a little liquor in your system, you know everything makes you feel and sound better. So
This nigga ain't eating that. But another one, man.
you want another one?
Yes, please.
Okay.
You have to interrupt the show because I want another libation.
Well, this is a podcast that is hosted by a mixologist. So
Can we take a moment to address your brainchild, the inebriation station?
my brain child. Yeah, sure. Let's talk about it.
Okay, that was all I had to say.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna steal this and make a what they call it?
This is behind the bar. You said still in the new what?
I'm going to make another version. It's gonna be called the libation station.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Let's go outside and fight.
Let me eat. No, hold up.
So speaking of substance, let's talk about substance abuse.
Why did my brain go there? I'm like, what?
Substance abuse and how we've seen. We touched on this a little bit. We've seen actors and actresses that start off and they hit the height of their career and they allow substances to bring them down. And so, like, how do you feel one should govern themselves when they get to that level, right? And you're surrounded and influenced by all these individuals. Like, what would one do to stay grounded and connected so that way they don't fall into that spiral that once you go down it's harder to get out of? Like, what would you say as an actor? How do you stay away from being caught in that spiral? And when you do feel like you're going down that spiral, how do you self-correct?
Okay, so
I know that was a loaded question.
I feel you, and I understand. I'll do my best to answer appropriately. I feel that you need a good home base, a good solid home base that doesn't participate in the things that can destroy you. A good team, a good family that can hold you accountable and see the best in you and not want that to falter. That's important. Right, a good support system. Not too many yes men around you. When you do get in those situations, you need somebody that is going to be like, you need therapy. Not people that's going to facilitate or what's the word for it? Somebody out there know it start with
Yes,
E.
man. Yes, man.
A yes man, but it's a word that I'm looking for. It starts with the E. Enable.
Oh, okay. Yes. Mm-hmm.
You don't need no enablers around you when it comes to that because
But it's
substance
so
abuse is
hard.
easy.
It's so hard. Well, based on what I've seen, and I'm not in it yet. I'm in it, but I'm level 1 in it. But like it's
in the abuse or the substance abuse.
well,
or the
yes,
industry?
just in general, just having the pressures as an actor and actress, and finding something to kind of soothe.
Yeah, self-soothe.
Yeah. So like like you were saying, like having that foundation
Yeah,
is important.
And therapy is good too. Like a lot of our coping mechanisms are self-harming in many ways, like excessive amounts of alcohol, copious drugs, and all that stuff. It makes us feel good for a moment, but that situation comes right on back. Like, how can we get to feeling good like 80% of the time, 90% of the time?
Right.
And that's what you have to do.
Can I get the peach now?
But a good therapist will always help.
And one of the things we talk about on the show a lot is Black culture and how it's been stigmatized that reaching out to help for help outside of the household is bad. We've been conditioned, especially younger, like, oh, what goes on in his house stays in his house. And so like you talk about therapy, and so you're definitely advocating, like, despite what we were taught or conditioned and passed down from generation to generation, you're advocating that we break that curse. And mental health is important. Mental health is just as important as physical health.
It is, but I sometimes, I don't want to say but, and I think that mental health, the access to help is a luxury that isn't afforded to people in certain socioeconomic positions. A lot of poor people cannot afford therapy or do not even have the resources to even access free therapy.
Right.
So then there goes that question. It's easy. It costs way less to pick up a little bottle of Mad Dog and ease your worries than it does to.
Not Mad Dog.
I'm telling you.
Wait, what is a Mad Dog?
Some alcohol and some drink and
is
some
it like a taco?
Parmesan.
It's like a taco vodka,
No.
but it's bottom
It's
shelf.
to the bottom.
But it's bottom shelf.
It really
You
is.
can walk into a gas station and get Mad Dog.
Hello.
Oh, wow.
Baby, 2 for $1. No, I'm just kidding. No, but it's easier to do that. So you have to, like, it's so many conversations. It's so much nuance when it comes to mental health. We are in a place of privilege to where we can access it, even through family members. Because I've accessed mental therapy through my mother's EAP plan. Just that in and of itself. So how do we get to a place of preservation and wellness without maybe the advent of a therapist?
One of the good things that, and I highlighted this in a different with a different guest, is that even though our generation, the current generation, they're like, we're in a cancel culture and people are quick to dismiss people. There are good things that come out of being in this current generation. For example, even though you mentioned technology earlier, technology, everything being so accessible, but it has improved a quality of life for a lot of people, right? And so being able, this current generation, they advocate mental health. Like they literally say, hey, it's okay to get help. And with that being said, like it opened up so many doors and it allowed people to come out and say, hey, this bothered me. This is what happened to me back in the day. And this is how I'm coping with it with therapy. And so seeing those moments and hearing about like the various things people went through and coming out and saying, hey, you know what? This happened to me and you don't have to feel alone. Go ahead and get help. Right. And so I know for me, I'm in therapy and, I was also molested, abused when I was younger. And having that outlet, having someone to talk to about that, it makes a world of a difference. And one of the therapy sessions that I had with with my therapist, something very weird and magical happened. He told me to close my eyes and go back to that moment in time where I was abused. And like literally, I closed my eyes and he was talking me through it and I felt like I was right there. He said, can you see yourself? I said, yes. And I was getting goosebumps. He said, now give yourself advice in that very moment. Like it just happened. And I'm like full of emotions. I did not know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, tell the 35-year-old self, tell that 12-year-old boy that everything is going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that, and I started bawling up, crying as I was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, that shit is scary. But like, therapy allowed me to go there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I would have been able to do that by myself. And now, with the issues that I had with my dad and him physically abusing me during that moment, I have solace and I have understanding that it wasn't my fault, and I no longer am allowed to blame myself for what happened. And even though there was shit going on with the divorce and all that stuff, I was no longer allowed to blame myself. So I think therapy is pivotal, and I think it's very key for anyone that wants growth in any industry that you're in, and then understanding of how the mind works.
Yeah, I agree. And I must say that I'm so sorry that had to happen to you, especially by who it happened by. Like I said, like you said, therapy is magical at the hands of the right person. The right therapist can be the midwife for your paradigm shift. And I'm glad that you were able to come to that, because like you said, you wouldn't have done it by yourself. Sometimes we don't even have the language to even go there.
Right.
For the healing, and we don't even know how to get out of this space of being in that space. Like, you needed somebody to be like, to carry you safely out of that state that he facilitated. You know, I appreciate you for being so courageous to even share that story.
Oh yeah. You know, it's cool. Like, I'm at a place where I can talk about it and not tear up and boo-hoo. Like, I found solace. It's okay. I'm working on other shit. Like, a nigga been single for 5 years. Like, what am I carrying any emotional baggage from my childhood into these relationships that I may see myself going into, right? And trying to be able to understand why I do certain things, why I have OCD now, understanding when those moments happen, write down what I'm going through. Usually when I start cleaning a lot, that means I'm trying to process something. And my therapist, and he's going to listen to this later on, he's going to hate me for saying that P word. That's one of those words that he does not like me saying. He does not like, because I use it as a crutch. I say I'm processing, like, in the moment, if I don't have any thoughts about something, I say I'm processing. And a lot of times I do have a thought and I just don't want to deal with it, and I say I have to process this. And I do have something. And he said, I'd rather you stop using it as a crutch and stop protecting people's feelings. Say what you have to say. And then they will respect you more. And I've lost relationships because of that, because I was protecting niggas' feelings or niggas' feelings. And it was a level of respect that was lost. And it was like something that I wasn't very proud of. And I realized it was because as a child, I was conditioned to lie. And not saying I'm a liar, but I was conditioned to protect feelings. My mother saying that don't tell your dad this when they were going through the divorce. And being the oldest of three, I have to, make sure that they're good, but they are not necessarily ready to hear something that may have happened. So I'm conditioned to, I guess, paint a story, right? And make it believable. And so that's not one of my proudest things, but it actually has helped me. But I had to put that to rest.
Yeah.
I have to, it doesn't serve its purpose as 35-year-old Jeremy.
Yeah.
Therapy did that, guys.
Yeah. I know that's right. Like, when you move from survival to thriving, from survive to thrive, you have to operate differently. You can't thrive with a survival mindset. Because you'll do things out of primal instinct, out of your trauma. I want to be well and full and whole. And I think the best way to do that is to understand your inner mechanisms and why you did certain things. Because a lot of the stuff that a lot of us do is really a part of our makeup only because somebody else had to brush. You feel me?
Right.
So taking a makeup wipe, metaphorically, and wiping that shit off and buying your own tools and be like, I'm gonna do what I want to do with my face, with my body, with my mind. That takes your power, because we can always change what we do.
Right.
We can. But understanding why we do it, that requires some deep introspection. And I'm glad that you took the methods to access that.
Yeah.
Because being conditioned to lie is, I feel you. Being a
Isn't it almost like an act? I'm not saying actors are liars, but it's like you create a fantasy, like you were saying. But you got to create. You have to be in this realm, and like you have to make it work. You have to sell it because other people are watching. So isn't it not similar to that?
I wouldn't say it was, because the intentions are different.
Yes, absolutely.
So with that, like, I understand trying to keep the peace.
Yes.
When you've been maligned, when you've been abused, so everybody else is good, but you ignore the way you feel. And listening to people that you've been told that loves you, you've been told you respect them, you do what they tell you to do. And you think they mean the best for you, but a lot of our parents are operating out of their own trauma, you know?
Right.
So being a black man and really having self-awareness, that's powerful.
Yes.
So many of us are just living on autopilot, and it does nothing but damage us and the people that we love. You know?
Yeah, for sure. Let's make it more fluffy.
Okay.
Well, let's
'Cause I
talk.
love getting deep.
Oh yeah, no, I enjoy this. I'm enjoying this conversation. Again, it's therapeutic to be on the mic like this. So let's talk about your cleaning line.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I kind of don't know if I am ready to talk about that, because it's still in flux, and being an entrepreneur is,
Boy, talk about it. Talk about it.
baby. And the thing is, I be applying to like regular jobs, and they decline my stuff so quick. I'm like, Lord, let me check my record. What's going on? Like, they decline my shit quick. I'm like, what in the world? And I don't know. But I remember being walked out of a place, out of Bank of America. You know who you were. I was walking out of that building, and I told that woman, "You gonna see me on TV one day?" She was like, "I'm sure I will." I was like, "Bitch." And I told God, I ain't never going back to corporate America. And God has been honoring that, and I wish He would stop. Dang.
So do you?
petty.
And that's one of the things that I show, because I've been an entrepreneur for over a decade now, and I've gone between having a full-time job, working corporate, and then going off on my own and not having a job. And it's a liberating feeling. Let me tell you, but you have to be ready for the entire experience. And I feel actors are also entrepreneurs, right? Because you're living from gig to gig, right? You don't know when the next one is going to come, but you just do the best you can every single day. And I feel like all of it is inclusive as far as like you have to be disciplined and trained for when that time comes. Because if you're slacking off, if you're not applying, learning and applying yourself every single day, you're going to miss something. And when you miss that opportunity, now you have to build up that momentum again. And hopefully another opportunity will come. So as an entrepreneur, I've had my woes. I've had my woes. I've had to borrow money from friends. I've had friends that, see me in a state where I'm not used to being without. And when I'm without, I feel extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It makes you very uncomfortable because you don't want to be a burden, right? You don't want to ask people for help. But you also want to be helped because you help everyone else. So have you been in that scenario, being on both sides, where you recognize someone that needed it because you saw it in yourself, that you've been in that place before?
You have to restate that question.
So have you been in a scenario where you felt like, or were you been on both sides, where you recognize someone that you're close to that is struggling, but they're putting in the effort, the work, and have you been in that scenario where someone reached out to you and helped you out? Okay. And what did that feel like?
With this in this business, doing my own thing has really changed my relationship with God. Like, I understand God in a different way now. Like, God does not, for the entrepreneur, I've learned that God is not really passive. And you can't sit at home and pray like, Lord, please, like bring a check to my doorstep. You need to get your ass up, and you need to figure out what you need to do to get that check to your doorstep. God doesn't reward inaction, like faith without works. Like, what you gonna get up and do? Hello. So that's the thing. Like, it's taught me that I need to put my best foot forward. And baby, there was a time when I was finna sell my computer. Okay, and one of the places
I don't know why I thought you were saying
I thought you was going somewhere else.
if I could, I would.
Ain't nothing stopping you. Go ahead.
There's something stopping me. There's something stopping me. Okay, but I was about to sell it, and that was hard, man, because one of my clients were not paying on time, and it was ridiculous. And I had a worker too, and I was like, and I hate keeping. I will not hire anybody if I cannot pay them. I'm not that type of individual. So I was about to put on my computer, and lo and behold, I went to one place. They gave me one price. I was like, I'd probably get a better place. I was like, God, I'm out here working. Like, I need you to figure this thing out. And I went out there, and I found like a title cash place or some bullshit like that beside the pawn shop. And I was like, I've never seen this place here before. I said, I ain't gonna qualify, but I'm just gonna go in anyway. And while I qualified for what I needed, and I was able to pay my guy, I was able to get what I need to get done. Then I was able to like restore everything back to square base. But that time was very hard for me because you think that I'm doing what I need to do. Like, God, why aren't you, filling my baskets? And the harvest, people be like, your harvest is coming in, but baby, to collect your harvest takes work. It takes work to plant. It takes work to pluck, collect it. Then you got to cook it. Then you got to wash the dishes. Bitch, give me a job. Give me a 9 to 5, a 10 to 6. Shit.
So when you before we wrap up, I wanted to ask, social media.
Oh Lord.
When you see individuals on social media, right? And social media is what people put out there, is what we see, right? Do you ever get like frustrated seeing the individuals on there, and it seems like it's so easy for them to just get all these likes, the monetization from their posts, and you like, I'm trying my damn hardest to do this and promote this product that I have, and no one's liking it. But if you see someone that is chiseled and they get all the likes, do I have to shift and be sexy to just get someone to see? Have you ever had a moment where you had to say, you know what? I don't know how to pivot because that's not my way of doing things, but should I consider it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a smorgasbord of like emotions. Like, I be on there, I be dry hating, I be jealous, I get motivated, I get inspired, I get jealous, and I be like, bitch, what? How the fuck? Then I get like, oh my gosh, I want to do that. Like, I get encouraged. But then I'd be like, let me throw this phone in the pool because I don't want to do this shit no more. I delete my Instagram. It takes too much. Like, it's all about appearances. And I find myself shying away more from Instagram because it triggers insecurities. I'm not a naturally envious person at all. So, or a dry hating person at all. So if I'm looking at stuff, I'm like, man, nigga, I could do this shit. Let me do the opposite. Let me say, congratulations. Like, I noticed that I'm not what I think, I'm what I do. So I can always do that. I can always do opposite of what I'm thinking or what I'm feeling to bring myself in a place of gratitude. So I try my best to do that. I really am very close to just divesting from all social media. I kind of want to go back to just being easy. And so much of our success we think is, predicated upon how many followers you got. But that don't mean shit. Followers do not always equal money. If we cycle back to Chloe Bailey, how many followers she got?
Don't she got hella followers?
She got a hell of a lot. And she
hell of a lot.
I don't repeat.
We got footage. It's all right. I'll run it back. It's fine.
She got a lot. Okay. And how many units did she sell?
I don't know the numbers.
You talking about albums?
She sold 10,000.
Albums? Really?
Yep.
I didn't know.
Are you talking about this last?
Yep. And 10,000 is like,
I'm a fat chick.
That's not a lot. That's minuscule
Compared to what you think.
compared to what she should have gotten. If you look at her followers compared to her sales, that's abysmal.
So
You mean 10? You sure it's 10,000?
She sold 10,000 units. Nope. She sold 10,000 units. And that's crazy.
That's not streams. It's just units specifically.
I think so. Yep.
Wow.
And it's kind of disheartening, but that's the lane that we live in. So it's all about smoke and mirrors. And now you can buy your own badges. If I worked as hard as I know some people have worked to get a badge, I would have been
pissed.
But since I don't have one, I'm delighted. Bring your ass down here with us niggas. We all the same, right? It's a badge. It's a blue check. That don't make you no better than nobody else. But if I
Yes.
work for it, I'm better than y'all.
So I'm
so playing.
I actually got the blue check myself, and so
You did.
I did.
How do you feel? What did you get?
a badge.
They don't mail you like a monthly like
No, but like you said, you still got to put in the work.
you.
You still got to put in the work.
If I get a badge, I want my post in chronological order. What did we get? God damn it.
No, you got to still put in the work. The work rather.
Sucks.
Well, Brian, we definitely appreciate you for coming on. Thank y'all. Make some noise for him. And
I don't like folks.
how can they follow you
You can follow me
on your current social medias that are active?
on I had to get a new Instagram because mine got hacked.
Hijacked, yes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's them scammers.
And that really discouraged me because I'm like, man, fuck the bullshit. But you can follow me on Brian with an I, Johns _official. That's Brian Johns _official. I got
On
to use my
Instagram.
damn self. On Instagram. On Twitter, I believe it's I am Brian Johns. You can figure it out. And my website is brianjohnsofficial.com. I know official is like a SAT word, but y'all got it.
Not an SAT word.
It'd be hard for me. I'd be like, OFF. I'd be like, what?
Well, we appreciate you for coming on the show. And thank you guys for tuning in. The visuals and the audio will be dropped soon. And we'll check y'all out next time.
Oh shit!
What happened?
And I forgot to tell you, if y'all want like a if y'all want a cleaning product, I have an all-purpose spray. I'm sorry, I forgot. Go to.
While he
I
asked you.
didn't think about it promoting.
I don't even know.
Okay, ask him again. We'll piece it together.
I don't want to. Just go to We Are Positively. That's hard to. Y'all just go to.
Is it on your website?
No, it's a different website. Go to wearepositivelyclean.com.
Okay.
And you can get an all-purpose spray that's all natural, non-toxic, and it cleans any surface. Yep.
That's what I wanted you to talk about earlier.
I got depressed.
I'm fucking dead.
Thank y'all for joining. We'll talk to y'all later.